I feel like, the way that you're showing up here is the High Priestess. I'm seeing a lot of like female empowerment in this spread. Role reversals, or like at least gender role reversal, and then also defying or kind of like overturning gender stereotypes or expectations, which is great because I feel like we all embody the feminine and the masculine, and we have to exercise, make decisions and behave in a way that where these two energies flow harmoniously. So every once in a while, we need to step up, operate more from that yang energy, like the more masculine energy, when we are assertive, when we are aggressive, when we go after what we want. And then in interpersonal relationships and in our lives and the way we treat ourselves and the way we treat others, sometimes we have to, step into more of that yin energy where we are nurturing, caring, and soft, okay? So this spread indicates to me that for many of you, you're operating more from that masculine energy, stepping up and demanding what it is that you need, what it is that you want. And then I also feel somebody else from outside of you, somebody else, another person, is bringing you this drive, this ambition for you to want to do more, to demand more. Like they're making you aware of your needs and your wants and your purpose, and they're making you crave and desire a lot more from your life, okay? Whatever you're not getting, I feel like you're becoming more demanding. Like, I need that, I need this. And then also, with this High Priestess, this is about inner knowledge, inner knowing, self-awareness. And we can't really go out into the world and create things, manifest things, and even demand things unless we know exactly what we want. So this is the burgeoning or the very beginning of the process of self-awareness. Okay? Because for too long, you have lived in this space. 7 of Wands. This is sort of like, I don't want to hog the limelight. I don't want to, be the center of attention. I don't deserve it. I don't want to, upset other people. I don't want to make demands for myself because that feels selfish. And in a way, you do feel that way. You do feel that by making demands out of other people, I'm making myself more important than other people. And yet other people have always made demands of you. So just a little bit food for thought. Because you don't want to be in this position. This is the limelight. This is somebody with a lot of other people looking on. You don't want to say no to people because you don't want to make them angry. You don't want to hurt anybody's feelings. You don't want to put them in a rough position. And so I feel like, you cater to, you help. And I feel that you give and give and give. Because you don't want to be in this position where you feel like, who am I to make demands? Well, you are important too. And it's really, this is the month for you to come into that sense of awareness. That, every time I give of myself when I don't want to, I deprive myself of that time, of that resource, of that energy. And energy flows, okay? But it's also very finite. If you give and give and give, you end up very depleted. And so there needs to be an equal exchange here. And I feel like for such a long time, there hasn't been an equal exchange. And then this also leads me to believe that you're dealing with somebody that might be taking from you, sapping you, sapping your energy, your resources. Resource comes out very strongly. And then you are aware enough where you're just like, okay, I'm pulling back. I'm drawing my limits. I'm making my demarcation in the sand, right? And then as soon as you draw back, you set your limits, the other person is just like, why are you selfish? Why are you holding back? Why are you not helping me? And so they're starting to make more demands of you, and they're starting to think that you're unreasonable. And, whatever this is, it could be guilt tripping, it could be throwing tantrums, it could be whatever it is. I just feel like it's making you reassess It's making you reassess whether or not you did the right thing. But I can assure you, you're doing the right thing because you're really drawing back and you're really taking care of yourself because you understand that it's important, okay? And that the other person also needs to be able to handle things on their own. For many of you, I feel like you're really thinking about, your savings, your retirement, your resources, checking your bank account, talking to like a financial planner, talking to somebody about financial planning. Okay, so this is the Eight of Pentacles. And I feel like in this card, it's about, creating more of something, working your magic, investing, thinking about long-term yield, thinking about avenues for you to invest your money, to invest your resources, how to make your money work for you. For some of you, this could even be buying property, making sure that your property appreciates, and then, wanting to keep it for a certain amount of years before you sell off the property. So I feel like you're doing some massive maneuvering, okay, conjuring things up, manifesting, as well as like talking to somebody who might be very savvy when it comes to financial resources, like a financial planner or even an investor, so that you can make things work for you. I feel like you're facing, there would be a lot of people around you. There's like bickering I'm seeing here. And I'm seeing like people might not agree with the choices that you make, okay? People might not agree, but you have your heart set on something. And so you don't need to, explain to anybody. You don't need to justify yourself. You don't need to justify the decisions that you're making for yourself. And so you have the gift of insight and intuition. And, I feel like this is a very good, like, savvy sense when it comes to business. You know how to make money. It's just when people pull from your energy, that's when you find yourself very depleted. And then I also feel like there might be bickering, there might be disagreements, there might be things are happening around you where people are not really agreeing or in accordance with like whatever it is that you're planning. They're trying to talk you into a different avenue. They're trying to talk you into doing something that they want. Whatever it is that they want is not appropriate for you. So stick with your gut instincts and stay on your course, because I feel like other people's opinion really shouldn't matter. It should not matter. For others of you too, I'm feeling almost like you're thinking about leaving a work environment that might be a little bit tenuous. Okay, so I feel like there might have been a lot of like it's very cutthroat. Five of Wands, bickering, mindless bickering, not seeing eye to eye, ideological differences. And then we have here the Seven of Wands. This is kind of like a cutthroat environment where people are willing to kind of like exploit somebody's weakness. Whatever someone says gets used against them, or, somebody throwing somebody else under the bus. So I feel like there's a situation here in a work environment around you, not happening to you, it's around you, where people are a little bit childish. The environment might be a little bit toxic. You might not think that you're moving. There's like no vertical movement. There's lateral movement. You're getting, the same pay in a different position, possibly same pay, same grade, or whatever it is. But I feel like there isn't, upward movement. And so you're making plans to see what other options are available for you. You're kind of spinning your wheels here, and you are seeing that, and you're also coming into the awareness that the longer you stay here, the more that this hostility or this this energy in the work environment is going to kick up. The more longer you stay, the more dust is going to gather. And you're aware of that, and you're trying to check yourself out and figure something out. In the meantime, things are still, I feel like it is still stable and safe enough, but you are exploring other options. And that's why I feel like, you're keeping your plans very close to your chest. You're not sharing your ideas. You're not sharing your plans. You're not really letting a lot of people know about it. Hence that smile on the ragdoll's face and the stitching around the mouth. There are secrets that are not being said. Okay, so moving on to this portion of the reading. This is a relationship here that I'm seeing. Okay, so we're going to move this away. So going back to that second scene that I saw, okay, it's just the man and the woman. And I apologize for my viewers who are in same-sex relationships or interested in, same-sex partners. The images just come out very heterosexual, so I want to apologize. Either way, whoever it is that you're dealing with, whatever race, whatever gender, whatever person that you're dealing with, I do feel for many of you, you might be the man with the ring, okay? The man who is committed. He is in a relationship, and the relationship is feeling a little bit like the ball and chain, okay? So forgive me for that expression. I have here the Four of Wands. This is a marriage. This is, stability. This is like holy matrimony. And then I have the Eight of Swords resting underneath it. The Eight of Swords is like bondage. It feels a little bit uncomfortable. It feels like it's hard to break out of, and it can feel very restrictive. For some of you, you might be in a relationship and you're questioning the longevity of the relationship. You're questioning, are we in it for keeps? Is my partner still wants to work at this with me? Do I still want to work at this with my relationship partner? And then I feel for many of you, there might be like a change of heart where you're in a situation, but it's no longer fun and exciting and new love. Like it's no longer, or maybe it has surpassed that puppy love stage. And now we're getting down to the nitty gritty of like the domesticity, the living together, the life that we've created for ourselves. Are we still excited about each other? Are we still happy in this relationship? Are we still willing to work at it? And others, you might be in a relationship where you don't know where things are headed, and you might not feel inspired or passionate or in love in that relationship anymore. And you might be thinking as well, like how else your life could turn out. You might be thinking, I don't feel like it's, like stepping out of a relationship, exploring other options. But I do feel like something here just feels a little bit restrictive. Something in this relationship feels a little bit like, I'm not sure if it's going to last through the winter, So that's what I'm sensing. And I feel like for many of you, there could be a situation here where there is communication or another person in your midst that's bringing this change of heart. And I just want to say, for those who are watching, and especially if you're resonating with this, I just feel like this home situation happened first, okay? There's something innately possibly unhappy or like dissatisfying in this to begin with. And what I mean by that is, if this is something you feel is worth salvaging, is worth working at, and is worth saving, then you need to take the steps now in order to correct it. Because I feel like the root of the problem is here. It's not this outside person. I feel like it's here. This is where things need to be fixed and mended and repaired. And I also feel like for many of you, it might lack excitement. It might have gotten into like a sense of, like routine, routine, like something is very routine. Something is no longer exciting. Something is no longer passionate. Something is no longer like, it's no longer in that puppy love stage. And so how do we bring it back? How do we revive it? What can we do in order to make it better, right? But either way, regardless of whether or not you're dealing with this, I do feel there is a new energy. We have here the Knight of Wands. This is like the embodiment of passion and chemistry. And then we have as well the Page of Wands. This is the same type of energy. And so it's going through a maturation stage. Okay, it starts out as the Page, and then it escalates into the Knight. And so what I'm feeling is there's somebody in your midst, okay, regardless of whether or not you're dealing with this. There's somebody in your midst that's bringing you kind of like a whole new world, a whole new set of eyes to look at your life and the life that you've created. Because I feel like it's very different. Like there is a little bit of like domesticity here in your life that is very different from what this adventure, this excitement, this sense of like, you know, bouncing around, being nomadic. So there's domesticity, there is like a nomadic lifestyle, and those two things clash. But in the process of, you know, getting to know the other person, unearthing their lifestyle and looking at the way they live their life seems very exciting. You're very drawn to it. You're very drawn to this person because they're like your polar opposites. That's what it feels like to me, like polar opposites. And then I also feel like there's a boldness, an impulsiveness, and a rashness coming through from this person, because they're very I feel like they're just very courageous. They're very action oriented. They do things, get things done. They don't sit around and mull over things. And they're very like unapologetic. They live their life the way that they want. They don't have to answer to anybody. They don't have to justify any of their decisions the way that you justify your decisions. The way that you have to, you know, get the support and the okay from the people around you before you make major life decisions. This person is like action oriented. They make life decisions, and they make decisions for themselves without having to consult people. They don't care what people say. And so this devil may care attitude has worked out really well for them, has gotten them exactly where they want to go. And so you're looking at this person, and I feel like there is definitely attraction. There's definitely admiration, and also, you know, looking up to this person, wanting to emulate and copy that lifestyle or the way that they carry themselves. They're so assertive and so self-assured. And I feel that you wish you could be that way. You wish that you could, you know, make decisions without having to second guess. And so if this is a romantic partner or a relationship partner or even a love interest, this is someone that will come to you in a heartbeat, okay? I feel almost like this sense of somebody is coming to somebody else's rescue, okay? And you know that, so the third image, okay, so now it's coming back. So you know the Warner Brothers cartoon, for those of you who are not familiar, it's basically a series of like cartoon sketches. And there's one where there's a damsel in distress. She's tied up, right? She's bound with rope, and they left her on a railroad track. And there's this cartoon train coming towards her, and she's screaming out. And you know, a man comes by and rescues her. So that's like what I'm sensing. But once again, I mentioned that this is a reading that is all about role reversals. That is all about like overturning gender stereotypes. And so what I feel is there might be a situation here where, you know, if you're like the masculine energy, you might be in the relationship and you feel very stuck and very trapped. And there's somebody coming into the picture, and they're breathing life into your life. They're breathing new air. They're bringing like a breath of fresh air into your life. And they're fixing your problems, and they're helping you make sense of things, and they're helping you navigate an environment, and they're very exciting, very dynamic. And then I also feel like it's this situation. One person feels very, very stuck, and the other person is like the knight in shining armor. But the knight is not always, you know, the masculine energy or the man. So I feel like there might be a gender role reversal here, where if you're the one feeling very, very stuck, the person that's coming into the picture is, you know, the one that's going to set you free, the one that provides all the answers. And so what I feel is, for some of you, there's this sense of independence, you know, shouldering the responsibilities on your own. You know, you're telling people, like, if you walked a mile in my shoes, you would look at your life with full appreciation, because, like, honestly, I feel that many of you have been through a lot of difficult life experiences. It's a series of life decisions that you have made over the years, and I feel like you've put yourself in challenging position and you have grown from it. But I also feel like you have also become a little bit jaded. And so you were very stoic. You roughed it out. You did it on your own. You shouldered the responsibilities. You didn't whine. You didn't complain. So you have this sense of resilience and inner strength. And then because you're so stoic and self-sufficient, the fact that you're like this now, like, what do I do? Where do I go? What's my next step? Why can't I figure things out? I need to be able to make this decision on my own. And I feel like the fact that somebody else is coming through, wanting to help, wanting to offer, you know, a hand, wanting to come and rescue you, you don't trust it. And it might be really hard for you to accept this person. It might be very scary for you to trust this person because, you know, honestly, the fire energy is really passionate and, like, it is very, you know, on the forefront. It's very bold. And so you might not trust that it's going to be sustaining. You might not trust that it's going to be long lasting. You might not trust in the stability of it.